So this is going to be like my second update on this bike and racing this year for GNCC. The last race is coming up in, I guess, this weekend for the Ironman. But I wanted to give everybody who's thinking about racing GNCC a heads up. This is a pile of all the shit that I've broken this year. Like, it's more than this. I've thrown some of it out. Some of it just was taking up too much space, but that's the back of my Polaris. This is the same piece as that one. So, this is just some lessons learned. First and foremost, I've added a couple of things, like this crash bar in the back. And, excuse me, I wouldn't have bought it until I ran into a rider who is just a complete jerk. And the last two races I've raced in, John Penton and what was the last one? Powerline Park, smashed into the back of me, and it broke the exhaust hanger, which is, I don't know if you can see it back there. It's that silver thing right there. So that's made out of aluminum, and it breaks when someone runs into the back of you. So if someone kind of hits you here, you're beat. But if they hit you in the back like this clown's been doing, it'll protect you. My seat pins are gone. They broke off. I don't feel like taking this cover off, so I've just been using a bungee cord. But this right here, let me take this seat off. This right here, this piece of plastic right here, this breaks a lot. I don't know if it's the way I'm riding or what, but I've also been told that this piece of metal in here will eventually go too. What happens is that when someone hits you or you clip a tree, this fender or this fender right here will start to create a hairline crack, and then this whole thing will go, and it'll flippity floppity, and then by the time you return to your trailer or your truck, you have mud all over the back of you because these fenders are gone. I had to, because of the little clown that hit me at the last race, he broke this fender. So this fender was gone. It broke all the way down here to the wheel well, and then it snapped this, and then it snapped my exhaust hanger. I got this off of eBay for I think it was $160, and then this thing is $120 a pop every time. I got it from what is that? Rocky Mountain ATV or some shit. This is a Quad Logic bumper. I got it raw, and then I painted it myself. This is Rattle Can. Which is, it's not too bad. It's, 5-10 feet paint job. I used primer, white primer, then I used regular old Rattle Can paint, and then I used a crystal clear top coat. So we'll see how it holds up. I mean, it's a quad, you know what I mean? So I got, these fenders are actually, they're not black. They are like a dark gray. If like a cyber gray, like I don't know, dark gray. So, it's got some weird stuff on it that my 800 didn't have. It's got some holes in it. I don't know if the dude who had it last time had some stuff put into there. I don't know. But this is plasti dipped. And I'm pleasantly surprised with, actually, I'm lying. It's not plasti dipped. It's this other shit. I don't know where it went. Fuck. Where'd it go? It's plasti dip, but it's not from plasti dip. It's this stuff. Peel coat. Rust-Oleum peel coat. It's matte black. So as you can see, it's matte black. But I've been riding this thing, testing it for Ironman, and the mud doesn't stick to it. I mean, it's sort of amazing. It doesn't seem to hate heat very much. It's right over this muffler right here, and seems to be doing all right. Another pro tip if you have a Polaris is I painted my muffler for 2 reasons. Number one, it's getting hot as hell. And the rock's getting thrown up and all this other kind of stuff, and it's starting to rust. So I wanted to protect it from rust. I used a high heat primer. That's the peel coat. Man, I am failing today. I used a high heat primer. It's gray. And then I used a regular paint on top. The regular paint on top seems to work okay on the heat shield. Not so much on the muffler. It's starting to matte out, but it sort of looks cool with the gloss heat shield in it. But I can feel a difference in the heat put off. Not much, but enough that it works. I added hand guards to the handlebars here. Mostly because of the little mittens you put on the handlebars to protect it from mud. The other ones I had before were like all floppy because I guess the manufacturers think that you're going to have these. So the only issue, they seem to work okay. I don't really like this design. Whoever came up with this, man, like seriously. Like that's the best you can do, that sleeve. They give you these 2 plastic sleeves. It's silly. Either that or I installed it wrong, so somebody help me out. But when you put the little mittens on to protect your hands from mud and getting your grips sloppy, they flop around if you don't have the hand guards. So I added those because I'm thinking that the Ironman's going to be sloppy. Here's another thing about the Polaris that anytime I have an impact with this thing. So again, someone slammed, not the same kid, but someone slammed into the back of me at the last race, and he pushed me into a tree. It's on the Ironman video. I get real mad and I curse at him. But this is the 3rd one I've been through. I keep breaking this. So this is broken, and then my the radiator support is all screwed up. I sort of cleaned up some of my wires because when I was racing, I was getting a lot of sticks and stuff caught in here. So I moved my my accessory switch to right here, which is, you know, it doesn't really do anything, but it's besides cosmetic. But you can also kind of use it as like a if the guy who's trying to steal your quad doesn't know what he's doing, he can use it as like sort of a kill switch. My shocks are completely done. They need to be revalved at the end. Everything on the suspension besides the shocks is stock. I'm not real happy with these tires. I'm going to try the Bighorns next, the 2.0s, to see if they work better. They could work worse, or it just, I can't drive, which anybody who's watched my videos know that's probably what the problem is. I still can't get the quad to not push. So for Ironman, I've turned up the valving on there all as tight as it can be, so there isn't as much body roll. And hope for the best. I changed all of my fluids with all the Polaris stuff. Added some grips, boot grips to the bottom of the I don't know what the hell you call it, the floor of the quad. So I went through 2 pairs of, this is my 2nd pair of boots. These are like some Dragon thing. They still work as far as boots go concerned, but like the snaps are getting a little worn. I've been through 3 pairs of goggles this year. So if you're going to attempt to do GNCC, it's going to cost you. It's not as cheap as I thought it was going to be. But, you know, and then I had to rig up a little bungee cord to keep that closed because when I got hit in the back, it completely annihilated this thing. And there's some sort of weird design the Polaris has where it has like a flap, but it has a pin, and the pin fell out. So I'm hoping that I get through the Ironman just fine. And nothing, you know, knock on wood, nothing happens. As far as like next season, I'm still not a good enough driver to go to B. I'm going to stay in C. I mean, if there was a D class, I'd go to D class. But as far as having an 850 versus 1,000, later in the year we've gotten some better drivers. Everyone's getting better in my class. There's some guys that are in the class that really should be, at a higher level, and they just like to win a trophy, and that's fine. I don't really care. But you need 1,000 cc for the initial launch for the race, because the better your position going into the woods, the better off your chances are of actually placing. And GNCC, you place 1 through 5. Currently, I'm 9th in points. I think 9th or 8th in points after having not that great of a showing at my last 2 races. But I went into the woods last, and then I had to make up time. And honestly, it's not driving ability. It's just that I won't quit. A lot of guys will get tired. They'll get nauseous. Their bike will break, but they'll quit. So that's just basically, I haven't been quitting. So I'm really going to try for the Ironman, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks everyone this year who's been really nice to me. I'm going to be doing this more hardcore next year. I'm going to try to go to every GNCC race, which I know is impossible with somebody who works and stuff like that, but I'm going to do the best I can. If you have any questions, as always, message me or leave a comment, and I'll do the best I can. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are smarter than me, and you're very knowledgeable, and I appreciate that. But this video series is for anybody who's starting out and is going to need some pointers and just wants to watch stuff about quads. So I hope everyone, I see everyone who's been commenting at some point out racing, and like and subscribe. Not that it really does anything for me, but anyway, thanks guys. I'll talk to you later.